All right, here we go. Here's this Prado. Everybody's probably seen this engine bay here at the Prado Hilux Engine Replacement Hospital before because, you know, like I said, look, new engine. Look at that. Isn't that beautiful? Look at that shiny new head. Beautiful, right? So new engine, new long motor, new injectors, new fuel pipes, new time belt, idle tension to cam seal, new glow plugs, new drive belt, new bearings. So it's like you've got an engine, you've got your injector job, manifolds clean, E-jar clean, bloody, I don't know what else, new coolant, the whole BFE job, you know, new drive belt, bearings, whatever, you know, a bit of rust on the pulley, but that'll wear off pretty quickly. So many extras that, you know, I can't even remember what they all are. There's so many parts and bits and pieces. New engine mounts, it got new engine mounts. It got a new map filter. All the things they didn't do, these bloody kids, these inexperienced people that contributed towards the downhill. It's like sending the vehicle to the wreckers when you take your car to the wrong places because they just wreck everything. They wreck everything, right? So what do we got now? We've got a new motor. Recently, the radiator was replaced. So this thing mechanically is bloody awesome. But I'm going to let you know a couple of things that still need to be done because everybody's on a budget. They haven't got unlimited funds. They haven't necessarily got 50 grand sitting there in the bank waiting for a new engine and rebuild your 120 Prado end to end when it hits 400,000 Ks. And you don't need to do that. And if you do the other maintenance, I guess, you probably shouldn't need to do this either. But, you know, there's a few variables there. 360K injectors with this one, I reckon, is a recipe for disaster. So we'll put that down as the main cause that we understand at the moment. One of the most important things is the transmission flush, because guess what? This is the most expensive component. It's been replaced and everything around it, as we just discussed, other than the turbo. The turbo has done 370,000 Ks. That's the original turbo. It wasn't in the budget to change the turbo. At nearly 400,000 Ks, that's where I'd say, while you're getting the turbo labour for free, pay for the turbo, perfect time to do it. And I'll tell you, with this one, I actually quoted him the wrong price because turbos went up a lot lately. And if he had accepted the deal, and look, it wasn't in the budget, but if it was a situation where he said, yep, do it, guess what? It would have been a heap cheaper because since then I've purchased some Hilux turbos. They went up heaps, and I asked about the price on the Prado turbos like this, and they've gone up heaps as well. So things are getting real expensive, people. Time to start it up. Beautiful, another one, beautiful. Some people might say that's a bit full, but you know, we like to bleed the cooling system properly, and I'd rather leave a little bit extra in there than leave you with it low. Worst case scenario, after we finish bleeding the system, it's just going to push the excess out past the cap, out this tube. It'll hit there, might make a bit of mess. You can rinse it off later once everything settles in. And just so everybody knows, if we do a BFE job or an engine or something on your vehicle in winter, in summer, everything's going to get to higher temperatures, it's going to expand more, and it might push some coolant out. So keep an eye on that situation. Once you've been through a summer, this will push out the excess and it'll end up being at the full line. I'm not saying we're going to leave it that full, I'm just giving you some ideas why it is that full. This battery that I extensively recharge, looks like it's come back to life, so that's good. We're going to need to check out things like the power steering level. So on this one, certainly don't replace the turbo until it fails. It's certainly done a lot of work. It just goes to show how robust they are. Nearly 400,000 Ks on the original turbo, no problem. But the really important thing I'd be doing next on this one is the transmission flush. Give it a good flush because you can't get new transmissions for these anymore. The 5-speed auto in the 120, no, you can't get them brand new anymore. So you want to make your transmission last. They're bloody bulletproof. They're good transmissions. But the lifeblood, that oil, is a lot cheaper than a transmission you can't get. My cost on the transmissions, I think before they stopped being available, was about 8 grand. So they probably retail for 9 or 10 grand. Bloody expensive. Look after it. Oil is much cheaper. Make sure you get someone that knows what they're doing to do it right, or follow the videos and use the correct oil, and you won't have any problems. Our transmission in our 120 like this, silver 120, 457,000 Ks. And I've got a lot of faith it's going to last a lot longer. All right, there it is. A bit of final information, and we'll wrap this one up. So brand new engine, runs beautiful. Vehicle's running just like a new one, like it should. Now, the turbo, I don't believe, unless I missed it, at no time was I informed that the turbo is a siren. So it has got, it's quite noisy. It's okay, it's on the way out, but it's certainly going to need to be replaced soon. So would have been better value for money, but like I said, you can only do what you got to do. But sometime in the near future, that turbo will need to be replaced along with a transmission oil flush. And I just want to say that was already cracked when we got it, so it's all good. Not a big deal, but not us. So some final checks. You can see the coolant level already coming down. You can see a bit of mess there where, like I said, that excess will come out. So what we do with these engine jobs, we do like a 100 plus kilometre road test. We want to make sure everything's Mickey Mouse, and another final check after that. So this is the probably about the, I don't know if you call it the 3rd or the 4th or the 10th check, but quite a bit of checking goes on because there's a lot of things you've had apart and needs to go back together. So probably quickly starting around this side. I mean, obviously you want to make sure all the bolts in your cover are tight. Check the clamps on the turbo, right, happy days. All your heater hoses, your clips where it's clipped to the firewall. Intercooler bolts. There was a lot of nuts and bolts missing on this one. We replaced what we could. We ran a bit short though, so we worked with what we had. Coolant level, bolts in the make sure they're tight. We're going to get to the really important imperative ones soon too, but make sure that's like belt, pulleys, nuts on the fan, coolant temperature sensor, which we've talked about recently in other videos, depending when this one comes out, before or after, depends what order I decide to drop it in. Radiator hose clamps, make sure they're in the right direction. Always check your EGR cooler bolt. See that one there? It's one you sort of can't see it from here, so it's always worth, you know, put a spanner on that, make sure that's tight, because if that's loose, the EGR cooler will vibrate around and cause some problems. Once again, see these clamps, they're not working the way they're meant to. They sort of, once they get a bit old, people rough them up and bloody yeah. So what I recommend you do is see this clip here, you buy one of those because they just push on and off, as I've demonstrated in other videos. Because these ones, there's another one here as well, and you'll see, same deal, right? Car's done 400,000 cars, a lot of people have worked on it, and those need to be secured. So for a start, we'll turn it around like that so that the sharper possibilities aren't rubbing against each other. So you've just got the back of the two clamps rubbing it. So I'll set them up like that for now, but they need to be replaced. You can get those ones if you want, just buy those original ones from Toyota, that one, and you know, but like I said, for this one, because these hoses are fatter, so you need that clamp really, because these ones are a little bit smaller, but these clamps do squeeze over here as well. So that's why I kind of go, well, just put that one from there to there. Another one of those does the job. And I haven't tried one there, but there's not much difference in size. It'll probably do the job. Check everything really. Check all the nuts and bolts on the side of that. I mean, just everything. Make sure your clamps and your pump, and look at it, it's looking a bit nicer and cleaner and fresh now, isn't it, down there compared to what it was before with a bit of a cleanup. Check your power steering oil level again. Make sure, like I said, that transmission flush is going to be really important on this one, because after investing all this money, you certainly want to make sure your transmission is going to be continuing on with the rest of the vehicle. Anyway, here we are on the final road test. There it is, 373,000 kilometers. Subscribe, turn the bell on, and we'll catch you on the next one. Bada bing, bada boom, all right? See ya.